There's a fierce passion that drives every revolution, every movement. And if we're speaking of passion, courage, and undying spirit, one name resonates loudly: Bhagat Singh. Hey there, history buffs. Today on Behind the Date, we're taking a deep dive into September 28th, the birthday of a legend, Bhagat Singh. We'll uncover his first taste of activism at age 12, how he led an entire protest from behind bars, and the story of his secret execution. If this video ignites a spark of patriotism in you, then make sure you hit that like button. Let's celebrate this Heroes Day together. Bhagat Singh's journey towards becoming a revolutionary began during his formative years. Born into a family of freedom fighters, the seeds of patriotism were sown in him from a young age. But it was a particular event that forever changed his ideology. At an age when most kids are busy playing video games, young Bhagat Singh had different plans. In 1919, at just 12 years old, Bhagat Singh's world was shaken by the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, where hundreds of innocent Indians were killed on the orders of General Dyer. A few days after the incident, young Bhagat visited the site and collected soil stained with the blood of his countrymen. He kept it as a solemn memento. At age 14, Bhagat Singh participated in Mahatma Gandhi's non-cooperation movement. However, when the movement was suspended following the Chauri Chaura incident, Bhagat Singh started to lose faith in peaceful protests. And so, when he was just 16 years old, he was arrested for the first time, dealing with his involvement in his protest against the Simon Commission. Even when he was young, his days in prison were formative, exposing him to the dreadful conditions faced by Indian inmates. This made him believe that strong action was needed against the British. The prison bars couldn't tame Bhagat Singh's spirit, and from what he pulled off behind those bars, it's gonna blow your mind. In 1929, Bhagat Singh and a few fellow inmates took an extraordinary step inside the prison walls. They began a hunger strike. Their demand was equal rights and better treatment for Indian prisoners who were being discriminated against in comparison to their European counterparts. And what I'm about to tell you next will have you shocked. This protest, it was not short-lived. Oh no, you're never gonna believe that it lasted a staggering 116 days. But how does one even survive without food for 116 days? Because it sounds impossible. But Bhagat Singh and his comrades did it by exhibiting sheer willpower. And of course, they did take occasional sips of water to stay alive. It was their unbreakable spirit that kept them going till the very end. Throughout the hunger strike, they faced immense pressure to end their protest. Prison guards and officials would taunt them, sometimes even placing food next to their frail bodies, trying to tempt them to break their resolve. But Bhagat Singh and his associates remained steadfast. The turning point was when Jatin Das, one of the striking prisoners, passed away on the 63rd day of the hunger strike. His death became a national tragedy, creating an outcry so loud that even the British had to take notice. And so, they eventually agreed to some of their demands. Improved conditions for Indian prisoners became a reality thanks to the incredible sacrifice and resilience of Bhagat Singh and his comrades. Let's flash back to March 22nd, 1931, when the entire country of India was in a state of political unrest. This was because of the decision to execute Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev on March 24th. Massive protests and rallies were erupting in the entire nation, demanding their release. The British, fearing a massive public outcry or perhaps a last-minute daring rescue, decided to change the date of the execution to the 23rd of March. This was their attempt to silence the growing unrest. So on that night, the 23rd of March, when an entire nation was asleep thinking they had one more day to plead, to protest, to pray, the noose tightened, and by dawn, India's three young heroes were no more. The secrecy didn't end there. Fearing a public backlash, the British authorities went to incredible lengths to keep the details hidden. Instead of handing over the bodies of the martyrs to their families, a hasty cremation was carried out along the banks of the Sutlej River. Their families and the nation were denied a chance for a final farewell. When the sun rose on March 24th and the news began to trickle out, the nation's grief was immeasurable. The British Empire's attempt to silence the outcry had the opposite effect. It only ignited further anger, making Bhagat Singh's martyrdom even more potent and enduring. This sudden, secretive act highlighted how much the British Empire feared Bhagat Singh's influence. His legacy is such that even in death, he posed a significant threat to the empire. Talk about fighting for a chance. Let's not forget Martin Luther King Jr., another hero who rose against the chains of discrimination in America. If you want to know all about the kind of person he actually was, then you have to check out the next video on my channel. Before you go watch that next video, we'd appreciate a subscription. Click that button to Behind the Date for more interesting stories from all over the world. Alright, I'm gonna go watch that video from MLK Jr.